Well, we have a bit of news coming out of the city of Detroit, kind of surprising a little bit because we didn't know how injured he was. Coming from Detroit Lions Twitter, Lions have signed Scott Nelson, who was a safety, and waived injured running back Mohamed Ibrahim. And that is quite unfortunate because he was a fan favorite. He was making waves in camp. Now, when I say that things are sad, I'm not saying that I'm sad. I'm saying that it is sad that people are getting waived because they're injured. It's part of the business. I know that's just how the cookie crumbles. But it's unfortunate because this guy was showing out same way Tom Kennedy was, same way Denzel Mims was doing as well. Speaking of Denzel Mims, also coming from this one is coming from Jeremy Reisman, says Denzel Mims cleared waivers and reverted to the Lions IR list yesterday. He's expected to agree to an injury settlement and become a free agent. So this is the third Detroit Lion now in pretty much a month that we've seen get waived because of injury. And I'm fully expecting the same thing to happen to Mohamed. He is going to get waived. Well, he's already been waived. It'll be an injury settlement. We'll hear about that in a couple of days or so. He'll probably clear waivers and then have a chance to revert back to or sign back with the Detroit Lions after the waiver. The injury settlement part clears, and then if he does come back to the Detroit Lions, it will take an additional 3 weeks. Now, the issue is that we have no idea with him and Mims how long the injury settlement part is for, but if they come back to the team that waived them, they have to add an additional 3 weeks to that. But it looks like Mohamed is going to become a free agent. Now, the Lions have signed safety Scott Nelson, and pretty much he was undrafted out of Pittsburgh, or he actually is from Detroit, but he was waived by Pittsburgh back in the summer, and we picked him up. I don't expect this guy to be anything. A safety is a bit surprising, though. You would think that the Lions would get an offensive lineman with what we saw on yesterday. That is where we need some depth at. I mean, our 5 or 6 guys, the starters, after that, but thankfully we won't have to see more than maybe 2 or 3 of them out at a time. That's assuming that Big V can go this year, which he seems to be going pretty well. I know he was out there in practice a couple of days. So Mohamed is no longer with the team, and the injury came and got another one. So that means that he is no longer in the running for number 3. And I said this the other day, that if you can't play, he already didn't play game 2, letting Jamar Jefferson, Craig Reynolds, Benny Snell. We didn't see Ozigbo, though. So it's a very good possibility now that this thing could come down to, we have 4 guys now battling for 2 spots. And that's going to be intriguing to see. But I know Mohamed was making some waves. He looked good out there in game 1. He really did. That's when he got injured in the first preseason game. That's the game that I was at. And it's unfortunate because, again, if you can't play, the NFL is what can you do for me now? And if you can't play, you're not going to have a place on the team. We saw it with Tom Kennedy. Now we see it with Mohamed. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel that Mohamed has been waived and probably going to be an injury settlement? He could come back to the team. It is so with him, Tom Kennedy, they could all come back, but it will be a while before we see them. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. This is a tough business.